So you just landed at Haneda Airport, and thanks to my recent video about entering Japan, you've cleared immigration and customs with ease, grabbed your Wi-Fi or eSIM almost instantly, and are now sitting in Haneda Airport with your luggage in hand, ready to start your adventure in Japan. But there's still one more burning question that is left to be answered, which is, what's the fastest, cheapest, and most convenient way to get to Tokyo from Haneda Airport? And while you might think the answer is pretty straightforward, there are actually several different ways to get to Tokyo, all of which could be the best option based on your budget, your hotel's location, how much luggage you're carrying, and many more factors. So in this video, I'm going to present all the different options to get from Haneda Airport to Tokyo and cover which option will be best suited for you. So without further delay, let's get this video started so you know exactly how to get to Tokyo. I am now offering my professional services to help plan your personal trip to Japan with my newly established business, Hidden Japan Journeys. After living in Tokyo for years, I have learned dozens of tips and tricks to navigate Japan with ease and found hundreds of hidden things in Tokyo I haven't even mentioned on my channel yet. With this extensive knowledge, I can help personally create the perfect travel itinerary catered just for you. Not only that, but I can also provide one-on-one phone consultations to help answer any personal questions or concerns you might have as you plan for your trip to Japan. If you're interested in these services, don't hesitate and contact me right now in this email right here or at my website in the link below. Why leave your vacation to Japan up to chance? Contact me today. Alright, now let's get back to the best ways to get to Tokyo from Haneda Airport. Number 1. Tokyo Monorail. The Tokyo Monorail is a special train line that starts at Haneda Airport and provides a direct route to Hamamatsucho Station, which is conveniently located near Tokyo Station itself. And with it being a direct route, if you manage to get an express train from Haneda Airport, you could arrive at Hamamatsucho in as little as 20 minutes. Not only that, but the fare to get from Haneda to Hamamatsucho is only 500 yen, which is a very reasonable price considering how close it gets you to the east side of Tokyo. And as a bonus tip, if you bought a JR Pass, you can actually ride the Tokyo Monorail for free. Well, you had to pay for the JR Pass, but you know what I mean. So for all you JR Pass holders, keep that in mind. If you don't have the JR Pass, that's not a problem. You can still use the traditional ways of getting on a train like the IC card and just using cash to purchase a ticket. Another great thing about this train line is its frequent service, with trains departing Haneda Airport about every 5 minutes. And because of this convenient schedule, you don't really need to worry about missing a specific train time because another express will usually show up right after the previous one departs. But while the Tokyo Monorail might be the fastest train service to get you to the east side of Tokyo, that might not always be the case when it comes to getting you to the west side of Tokyo. Number 2. Keikyu Line. When it comes to using normal trains, the Keikyu Line is the only other train option that can get you out of Haneda Airport. As the title suggests, with the Keikyu Line being a normal train service, it will generally have a lower frequency of express trains compared to the Tokyo Monorail, with express trains only departing about every 10 minutes. Along with the lower train frequency, it will also be slower than the Tokyo Monorail for anything on the east side of Tokyo. But while the Keikyu Line doesn't have as many express trains and might be a little slower than the Tokyo Monorail for the east side, it definitely has its own unique set of advantages. The first advantage is that it's the cheaper option to get into Tokyo, generally costing about 200 yen less compared to any route that involves the Tokyo Monorail. Along with it being cheaper, it can also be the fastest train option if you're going anywhere on the west side of Tokyo. So depending on where you're headed, choosing between the Tokyo Monorail and the Keikyu Line can make a big difference in your arrival time and your wallet. But we'll get to more on that in a bit. For now, let's talk about another major factor that can really impact your decision on how you're gonna get into Tokyo. And that factor is luggage. If you plan on arriving at Haneda Airport with a lot of luggage, there are 2 special options that might be just for you. Number 3. Taxis. If you're with your family or group of friends and have a ton of luggage, or you're just super tired from a long flight and want the convenience of going directly to your hotel, then using a taxi might be the ideal option over taking the train. Taxis in Japan are very clean, easy to use, and are overall a very solid service to take advantage of, even outside of Haneda Airport. The drivers are very professional, and the clean interior will offer a quiet and comfortable experience experience while you get to your hotel. And unlike the trains, you can leave the airport whenever you want, as there are always dozens of taxis waiting in line for your business. However, while the taxi service is easy to use and very pleasant, you definitely pay for these benefits with a lofty fee. The average cost to get from Haneda to Tokyo via taxi can range anywhere from 6,000 yen to as high as 10,000 yen if your hotel is far enough. But you can mitigate some of these fees if you schedule a taxi out of the airport, which you can book online in advance. But if this fee is a little too steep for your liking, no need to worry, because I have a solution that balances both convenience and cost effectively. Number 4, airport limousine buses. What makes the limousine bus better than taxis is you can head to your destination with almost the same level of comfort as a taxi, but only having to pay a fraction of the price. Not only that, but they also offer some of the most convenient bus routes, with many of the bus stops dropping you off right in front of your hotel. And while the price of the bus will cost you considerably more than taking a train, running you upwards of 1,500 yen or more per person, it is still much cheaper than taking a taxi. Plus, for only 1,500 yen, you definitely get your money's worth. The airport limousine bus is perfect for travelers that are super tired from a 10+ hour flight and don't want to deal with navigating the train systems. Plus, they offer you your own personal and comfortable seat. Not only that, but these buses also save you the convenience of having to haul your luggage to your hotel, as they have compartments located in the bottom half of the bus where you can store your luggage. These two qualities alone well make up for that slightly more expensive price tag. If you're interested, there are 2 ways you can purchase your very own bus limousine ticket. The first option is booking it in person, which can be done at the bus ticket machines located at Terminal 3 in Haneda Airport. When it comes to getting your actual tickets, it's just as easy as finding these machines. All you need to do is select your destination, which can either be a hotel or a train station, select the time you want to depart, pay with your card, cash, or IC card, and that's it. The other way you can book your bus ticket is by checking out their website in the description below. Here, you can not only see all the time windows and bus route options for the day you arrive, but you can also book it well in advance too. Just simply select the route that either takes you directly to your hotel or close to it, pick the time that fits with your arrival time, and that's it. Now that you've got your ticket, simply follow the bus signs and head to your designated bus terminal, which you can find printed on your ticket right here. Now that you know every option to get to Tokyo from Haneda Airport, it's time to cover which option would be best for you based on your specific situation. Tokyo is a much bigger city than tourists expect, with a surprising distance of about 4 miles or 7 kilometers separating Tokyo and Shinjuku Station, which are the major train stations for the east and west side of the city respectively. And with such a large gap between the east and west side of Tokyo, the best route to your destination could be very different depending on which side you're heading to. So let's quickly cover the best option for each situation so you know exactly where you need to go as soon as you land. Shinjuku is one of the most popular areas on the west side of Tokyo and is right next to another bustling city center, Shibuya. Along with these 2 popular destinations, other major areas that are nearby include Ikebukuro, Harajuku, and Shimokitazawa. So if your destination is any of these areas I just mentioned, here's the most ideal train route for you. When you arrive at Haneda Airport, you'll want to take the Keikyu Line instead of the Tokyo Monorail. Not only will it get you to the west side of the city slightly faster, but it will also be a cheaper option than the Tokyo Monorail. From there, you'll most likely be getting off at Shinagawa Station and then transferring onto the Yamanote Line. And after transferring onto the Yamanote Line, that's it. Aside from Shimokitazawa, the Yamanote Line will get you to almost every major area on the west side of Tokyo quickly and cheaply. Now that you know the fastest way to get to the west side of Tokyo, it's time to cover the fastest way to get to the east side. If your destination is the eastern side of the city, which includes Tokyo Station, Akihabara, Asakusa, Ueno, or Ginza, then you'll want to take the Tokyo Monorail instead of the Keikyu Line. As stated before, simply head to the Tokyo Monorail and take an express all the way to Hamamatsucho Station. Once there, simply transfer over to the Yamanote Line and that's it. You'll be well on your way to almost any major stop on the eastern side of Tokyo. Now that you know the best way to get to either side of Tokyo, it's time to cover one final important piece of information that you need to be aware of: late night arrivals. One thing to note is if your flight is going to arrive after 11 p.m., you run the risk of not being able to get to Tokyo Tokyo very easily, as most of these transportation services shut down around 11:30. However, if your flight does arrive after all these services have shut down, there are still a couple options to keep you from being stranded there all night. The first and most ideal option would be taking a midnight bus. However, it's important to note that while there are buses available at night, not only will you have to pay a higher fee since it's operating during special hours, but there are also only a couple buses that operate for the entire night. So in reality, it's not very likely you'll be able to line up your late arrival time with one of these buses. And even if you can make it to one of these buses in time, it's not entirely guaranteed that it'll take you where you need to go in Tokyo. Aside from the unlikely chance of catching a bus, you can always try to grab a taxi into Tokyo, as they will have those running late into the night as well. The problem with taxis is they won't be cheap, costing you the same amount of money I mentioned earlier, if not more, since they are operating at a very late hour. If neither of these options seem appealing to you, the final solution you can choose is getting a hotel near the airport for your first night. There are plenty of decent hotels you can stay at in the area, and some of these will probably be cheaper than the cost of getting a taxi to Tokyo. So if you know you're going to arrive in Haneda late, make sure you prepare well in advance and have a plan ready, so that way you're not stuck at the airport for the first night of what is supposed to be a fun adventure. I know this was a lot of information crammed into one packed video, so I'll quickly cover the high points of everything you need to know. If you're headed to the east side of Tokyo, the Tokyo Monorail will be your best bet. If you're headed to the west side, then the Keikyu Line will usually be the better option. Regardless of which train you use, both lines will accept your Pasmo or Suica IC card, which I made a video about in case you need help figuring out how to get these cards. If you want a private, comfortable, but expensive ride to your destination, use the taxi service provided at the airport. And finally, if you want a less private, but still comfortable and convenient ride to your hotel, you can book an airport limousine bus, which in my opinion is the best option out of all of these because it is a perfect balance between comfort, cost, and convenience. But my biggest recommendation to you is to enjoy your amazing vacation and to create some unforgettable experiences and memories during your journey in Japan. If you want more help like this and want to speak with me directly, hit me up on my business email and ask me about my services. Like this video if you found it useful. Subscribe for more helpful content just like this, and check out my affiliate links and my new website in the description box below for when you plan your next trip to Japan. Alright, that's gonna do it, and until next time, I'll see you then.